So, a Friday night and Wednesday travelled to Turf Moor to take on a Burnley side who's keeping clean sheets for absolute fun. I think it's over 1,000 minutes since they last conceded a goal at their place. Up there in the table, trailing the top two and trying to play catch up with them. Then before the game, you know what I mean? I'm like, well, it's a gimme, innit? You know, you're not expecting to go there and get anything. Especially as a more worrying stat recently is that although Burnley have been keeping clean sheets for fun but not scoring many, they're suddenly starting to create chances. In fact, the chances they've created over the last 3 games, decent opportunities, accounts for 17% of all the chances they've created all season. There couldn't really be a worse time to play them. Let's take Friday nights and all, what's that all about? 2 Friday nights on spin now. I'm sick of these games getting moved about. Anyway, let's crack on with game. Wednesday went there with quite a positive lineup. Beadle in goal, a back four of Valerie, Ehekwe, Lowe and Johnson. Midfield from right to left was Gassama, Charles, Bannon and Windass, with Armstrong playing a sort of floaty role around the recalled Michael Smith up front. Recall for Smithy, I can understand it in the sense that, you know, he's our best goal scoring threat, and away from home against a team with their sort of form, you might want somebody who's going to ball up more. I've got to be honest, I found it a bit surprising because I've sort of got into my head now that the way Danny's going to do things, he's put Ugbo on for 70 minutes and tell him to work their defence to death and drag him about as much as he can, and then Smithy's going to come on and take advantage of them when they're knackered. So I've sort of got into that way of thinking now, and of course then we don't do it, which that was a little bit of a surprise for me. Yeah, the game. Wednesday went there and made a fist of it. I think that's why it's so frustrating after the game, because before the game I was like, yeah, it's a free hit, you know, we go there, we know to prove, they're the top side, we're not expecting a win, let's be honest. Nobody was expecting Wednesday to go there and really win the game. But the way that we played makes the defeat frustrating, because I thought we played ever so well. I really did, which sounds stupid in a 4-0 defeat, but I really did. They had probably a decent long ball after about 10 minutes, which caught us squared and Beadle come out for that. But overall, I thought Wednesday were a better side in first half. Thought we played some good football. Armstrong I was really impressed with. He were up there playing in and around Smith and getting onto things. And a goal's only just round corner for him, I'm convinced of that. We've seen it every game so far that he's played, and obviously he's playing maybe a little bit of catch-up because it was only pre-season over there in Canada, but he's got that knack of getting in the box and arriving on the end of things, and he had a glorious chance on 15 minutes, ball cut back to him, opened his foot and tried to guide it. I think it's the right idea. I think the way he attempts the shot is the right idea. Maybe a little bit unlucky in execution, or if you're being harsh, you know, you might say he's really got to bed it. But a really good start from Wednesday. Thought they were lively. Windass coming in off that left-hand side and sort of helping out in midfield as well. And I thought Wednesday got a really good balance to him. 20 minutes, Windass on back stick, you know, Wednesday again having a good passage of play. Ball comes across to him. And their lad, Edwards, I think it is, he gets out and makes a sort of block, looks like with his chin. What a set of gnashes he's got, by the way. Like lamp on front of a steam train. He made a good block. And again, the centre half, the number 5, is it Estevez or something? Oh no, that were Young Guns. Anyway, their big number 5, he gets in another block. In fact, he celebrates that block like he scored a goal. And I've said this in videos, and those of you that watch regular will know I've said this all the time. You've got to have defenders who love keeping clean sheets and get offended when opposition scored, and they've got them right across their back line. Like I said, that kid's celebrating like he scored winner at World Cup final by tipping a shot around post with his shin, and that's what you've got to do in games, innit? And they've done that tonight when Wednesday were. I would say we were on top first half, on top, but they've showed why they've kept so many clean sheets, because they defend like their life depends on it. They'd got the lad Edwards on the right hand side, who apparently has been mainly used from bench this season, but he's come in tonight and give Marvin Johnson a tough time, to be honest with you. And Wednesday picked up a couple of bookings down that side. Windass got a booking for it's a bit of a soft one, I thought. Johnson got booked for what I would call a Concord Park tackle, Edwards chopped in off right hand side, probably their best chance at first half, killed once at back stick. That would have crossed, by the way. I'm not having that he were taking that on. That would have crossed, but nevertheless, that hits the bar. And they did have a little spell sort of coming up towards break, but overall, I thought we would have a little bit unlucky that we'd not got the lead, if I'm honest. Windass advanced out right hand side. Played a little pass, but just as he were passing ball, got absolutely wiped out by two players. And ref blows whistle, and I thought, good place to get a free kick in here. Maybe we nick some at 5-10 minutes before break. Whistle goes. He's offside for Windass's pass. Even though his two-man tag team fouled as his making pass. I don't know. Little things in big scheme of it that don't matter when you're on end of defeat that we're on tonight, but really some really good opportunities for Wednesday. As I said, Burnley coming into it, find a little bit of rhythm coming up towards break, which is when they scored their goal. It's a disappointing goal from our point of view. It's a little sort of give and go. And he gets inside. And the problem you've got, it's not very good defending from Wednesday. There's 3 or 4 bodies in there. But once he's got the wrong side here, nobody wants to stick a foot in. Nobody wants to give a penalty away. So there's a lot of this sort of... And it's a great finish. He lifts it over goalkeeper, Matty wants to be a great finish. Kid's worth, £17 million, isn't he? So, I'd expect a decent finish from 8 yards out. But so they get the lead going into the break. And I was in a bit of a funny mood at break because I weren't expecting us to go there and get anything. But then because of the way that we performed in the first half, going a goal down really annoyed me. If we'd gone there, then we were passive, and they were playing like a team that were right up there where they are in table. You sort of like expect that. You're like, oh, okay. But I thought we played ever so well, so that's why the goal when it came up, they were really painful, to be honest with you. Now, Wednesday made a change at half time. Obviously, Marvin Johnson had picked up a booking. It looked like he'd picked up a bit of a knock as well towards the end of first half. So I don't know if he's been booked as an injury or yellow card. I suspect the yellow. That kid on that side was a bit of an handful. And I love Danny Roll. I love what he's done with Wednesday. I think he's probably the most tactically astute manager we've had genuinely in 30 years. I think you probably have to go back to Ron Atkinson to have a manager who understands the game in the way that this lad does, albeit I think one did it with his eyes and one does it with his iPad. But either way, I like what he's doing. He's very aware. But again, he is young, and I was a little bit surprised with the substitution. Not particularly taking Marvin Johnson off, but sticking the young lad Otugbayo in there in a game like this, away from home, against a team that don't really lose games. You're a goal down. And I see I know it's experience for a lad, but I think there's different ways of getting players experienced. And I did think he looked a little bit lost out there tonight. I'm not putting any blame on the kid. But I just thought, we've got the Japanese lad on the bench who's 27 years old. Now, we could we can talk about the physicality of this league, and maybe that's going to be a learning curve for him, which I'm sure it is. But he's technically a very good player, and at 27 and a Japanese international, I would rather we'd put him on at left fullback and left low and Hekwe in the middle. I really would. I really would. Like I said, you're putting a young lad in there, and it's the one area of the pitch really where you want a bit of experience. I know they've got to be blooded, but I think there's a time and a place to be bloody in centre halves, and I don't think away at Burnley is probably one of them, if I'm honest with you. Like I said, we don't know how good the Japanese lad is defensively. That's something we're going to learn from. But 27, he is experienced, and I was a little bit surprised with that change, if I'm honest with you. Wednesday have a decent start to the second half as well. Probably not as strong as the first half, but still good. Windass has a good opportunity. He gets down the left-hand side, and just as he's trying to get the ball across, that's sort of turn around the post. Armstrong and Gassama in the middle. Impressed with Armstrong, as I've already said. I think neat and tidy, and really good at them little given goals. He's very cute in that jump box. Gassama had one or two runs. I preferred him off the left-hand side, the same as Jamal Lowe. I think if you've got like the likes of Marvin Johnson or Hatsuse when he does get his starts, when you've got them bombing out, I think it just gives that opportunity to stretch defence, and then Gassama can get inside and get shots. So I think that suits him off the left. I didn't think he looked quite as comfortable on the right, but still one of our best outlets. But despite that, and like I said, one or two moments with Windass and Armstrong being neat and tidy, and Gassama a couple of little runs where he's cut the ball across. I mean, he's cut the ball across at one bit to Windass at backstick, and again, their centre half, he's in there. They block and block and block. It's proper defending. And then they make the changes, and Brownhill, who's scored against us many times before, comes off the bench, and he puts away a chance that's not too dissimilar to the one that Armstrong put just wide in first half for us, and it's a story of Wednesday season. You look at the teams that's up there in them playoff positions, and it's at both ends of the pitch. Burnley keeping clean sheets for fun, because some other teams have scored in goals for fun. Wednesday are really good in the build-up. We're really good at playing on counter-attack. The way that we can move the ball at speed through midfield. We're quite good in possession and keeping hold of ball when that style's required. Bannon, Armstrong, Charles, that's a magnificent three-man midfield, that it really is. We've got lively players in wide areas like Windass and Gassama. But the problem is we concede too many goals. It really is as simple as that. And it's an issue for us. We don't score enough goals. We've created some good chances today. We could have been 2 or 3-0 up, to be honest with you, before they'd scored. And we concede too many goals. That's 54 goals in 34 games. It's nearly 2 goals a game over the season. It's just far too many. Far too many. Charles gets took out from the back. Is it Laurent? That's an odd tackle. That's a nasty one right on back at Achilles. And the look on the lad's face when he turned around looking at referee, he thought he were walking, because he knew that was a bad studs tackle, that, and he's got away with a yellow. Wednesday, like I said, Wednesday's still having moments, but at 2-0, they know that the more they try and go for it and try and score against a team who's keeping clean sheets for fun, the more they're going to leave themselves open and exposed at the back. And they did. There was another ball that were straight over the top. Lads just started, I'm not taking out away from their lad who's made the run, but it's a very simple straight run. And it's just dinked over. Wednesday caught absolutely square. He slides it past post, that should have been 4 then. There and then. So we're still trying to get back in it. I'd almost at 2-0. There's part of me like, just shut up shop. Just get 11 in our 18-yard box and just twat it off at stand roof and then take a 2-0. Do you know what I mean? But then I'm a right mardy ass. I mean, the third goal it's like a comedy of errors. We clear ball, the clearance hits one of our lads in head, it's bobbling about. He gets turned back in and there. It's a nice finish, but it's there right back. He's popped up, he's in 6-yard box, there's nobody near him. There's nobody within 5 yards of him. He's just like wandered into the box, thanks very much. He side foots it in. It's like just a 2-yard pass, like me playing a pass with kids in garden. Unmarked in box. 79 minutes, Gassama then gets booked as well. He gets it up in box. He has a nice little turn. There's 2 or 3 men around him. He gets brushed. He goes down too easily. He gets a booking for this trouble. I mean, we see them every week at Hillsborough, and folks don't get booked. But look, 5 minutes after that, Ugbo's come on. There's a cross into box there for the middle, and he's taking that down. Kid comes straight through the back of him, and that's not. But well, that's a yellow then. Do you know what I mean? That's a penalty or a yellow. Make your mind. I'm being mardy. We've lost to a very good team with some quality players who keep clean sheets for fun and are starting now to score goals. And I shouldn't be too disappointed because I weren't expecting us to do out there. But even this morning, I've got a feeling I'll probably lose 1-0. We'll probably give it a good go and lose 1-0. But it's a bit of a tousing. And I think the issue is now for Wednesday, which shows where we are, is when we've played the teams in the top 5. I think that's 22 goals now. I think it's something like 22-0, the aggregate score when we've played teams in top 5 or 6. Which shows where we are. I think we have been punching a little bit above weight, and now and again when you play them top teams that's got parachute payments and can bring in a £15 million winger on loan, that's what you're up against. The last goal for them, Benson, was a fantastic finish. He's inside left position. Lad goes past him on overlap, so there's a little bit of that hesitancy from Wednesday, and that's all it takes. As soon as he sees that little bit of hesitancy, he cuts inside, smashes a great shot into the far top corner. It's a confidence strike. And I think that's the thing, winning builds confidence, and although they, on paper have not been battering teams or whatever, they've been keeping them clean sheets and they haven't been losing games. So when you're not losing games, it builds, doesn't it? And we've seen that all across their front line tonight. They haven't been afraid. They've had 4 shots on target and they've all gone in. And I know you can say sometimes these results happen, it's an anomaly, but like I said, that aggregate score when we're playing these top sides, it just shows there is a little bit of a gulf, Leeds, Burnley, United. You've got to be able to compete with them, and you can have best manager in the world, and I don't think we've got one of the best young managers in the world, I really do, but you've got to be competing in market for top-end players, because it's at the back and at the top where games are won and lost, Anyway, I'm not going to bang on because a stupid Friday night kick-off, I've got work in the morning, so it can't be a long one. But a frustrating evening. Frustrating because we played ever so well in that first half, we really did. But then, I said that last week as well, God, we played ever so well today and got a call. And today, for large spells of that game, we've played ever so well, and again we've got a call. When did we last put back-to-back wins together? November? Anyway, At least we've got Sunderland next Friday night to look forward to.